Hello everybody, it is I, your favorite literary detective, Young Paperwork, and I am very excited to see this for the first time, and hopefully not the last time. This has me feeling like an important and or popular content creator. Thank you Sleepy Castle Studio and Hype Train Studio, specifically Alina Petrova, for the free early Steam code for the game Escape from Ever After. I am not going to let this impact my thoughts and feelings on the game, but it's very important for everybody to know this immediately. I am a through and through Paper Mario kid. I'm one of those people that got mad at the series post Super Paper Mario and stopped messing with it when Sticker Star came out. That's me. I'm like the quintessential old guard Paper Mario fan. The Thousand Year Door was my favorite video game from the day it came out. I believe the year was 2004. If I'm wrong, I'll have a thing to correct it on screen. Up until 2020, when it got replaced by Bug Fables, The Everlasting Sapling, which is a spiritual successor and Paper Mario inspired video game. Meaning, despite the game rankings changing, I stayed within the same genre or same type of game. Thousand Year Door is probably my second or third favorite game of all time. I go back and forth every day with that one and Breath of the Wild because I am also a humongous Zelda fan and Zelda kid through and through. But let's talk about a few things before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video. This game had a lot of twists and turns, and specifically some character dynamics that I think were so integral to the game that I don't feel comfortable spoiling it this early after it's just been released. So I'm only going to be showing you guys footage from the trailers and promotional material on top of the first 45 minutes or hour of the game, which is the prologue. I think all of these things are best experienced first time when you play the game, but I will do my best to elucidate and show you guys the kind of grander scope of the game and what you can expect. And I think it's totally worth your time and totally worth your money. I had a fantastic 30 hours playing this game. It does not take that long to beat. You could be done within 16 hours. I am just a notoriously slow gamer, and my OCD tends to act up where I need to look at every nook and cranny and try to discover every secret before I move on to another area. It took me about 30 hours in total, and I'm already itching to play it again. I want to do a second playthrough. I did play the game one day early on my stream before it came out, so that's the footage you'll be seeing for the most part. And without further ado, I think it's time for us to talk about the greatness of escaping from Forever After Incorporated. I wasn't kidding when I told you guys I'm already itching for like a new game plus type of playthrough. That's how good this game is. Sleepy Castle Studio has truly crafted something special here. From the moment you dive in, you're greeted with this incredible, vibrant art style that instantly reminds you of classic storybooks, fairy tales, fables, things of that nature, but with this fantastic, modern, corporate twist. The animations are fluid, the character designs are memorable, their facial expressions are expressive, and every new area feels distinct and full of personality. But let's get into the heart of why this game is so brilliant. And I think it all starts with this utterly genius premise, which is essentially fairy tales versus capitalism. Seriously, who thinks of this stuff? It's so good. You play as Flynn Buckler, our classic earnest storybook hero, who wakes up to find his fantastical world has been taken over by the monolithic Ever After Inc. His natural arch nemesis, Tinder the Dragon, her castle has been taken over by this corporation. Instead of quests and dragons, he's faced with quarterly reports and corporate synergy. What's the mission though? To infiltrate the company from the inside and take down this greedy conglomerate. It's a concept that is consistently mined for pure comedic gold and surprisingly poignant moments. The writing is very good. It's razor sharp. It's genuinely hilarious, incredibly smart, and tight. Every line of dialogue feels carefully crafted. The game constantly skewers corporate culture, turning beloved fairy tale characters and tropes on their head in the most imaginative ways. For example, what if all the wolves in the Three Little Pigs were so dense, but extremely kind and had no concept of danger. And perhaps each of the 3 pigs were kind of assholes. I'm talking about things like that. They play with your foreknowledge on these fables and fairy tales in a way that I think is pretty damn impressive. It's satire at its finest, but it never loses its heart or its sense of adventure. Now, let's talk about the gameplay, because this isn't just a pretty face. The combat is a love letter to the golden age of turn-based action RPGs, specifically the ones that are inspired by Paper Mario and the Paper Mario series itself. The timed hits or action command mechanics keep you actively engaged in every single battle. Nailing a perfectly timed button press to amplify your attack, deflect incoming damage, or pull off a special ability is incredibly satisfying. It transforms what could be a static turn-based system into something dynamic and exciting, making even regular encounters feel like mini challenges. And the game does a lot of things that I'm not used to with this style of game. So with Bug Fables, you had a set party of 3 plus 1 more character you can get, which means you are always leveling up the same group, Team Snakemouth. With Paper Mario, when you switched out partners, and this is also true of Born of Bread, the main character, Mario, and the main character, Loaf, always had to be in the battle. In this game, you can actually switch out the main character, Flynn Buckler, and have only party members fighting, which is not something I'm accustomed to, but I actually think that small little change will absolutely impact on how you fight and how you go about combat, which I think is really damn good. I'm a fan of it. So yeah, you're not fighting alone. Escape from Ever After features an incredible cast of playable characters and partners, each with their own unique abilities and hilarious personalities that perfectly feed into the game's central theme. First up, there's Tinder, our resident dragon. Not some fire-breathing menace, but Flint's former nemesis, who's now a disgruntled, cynical employee, if you will, really a prisoner, of Ever After Incorporated, forced into a truce. Tinder's fiery breath attacks are powerful, but her real utility comes from her overworld ability to burn through corporate red tape, light torches, and wood, and other things of that ilk, especially for like dark areas. She's got this fantastic deadpan humor and a surprising amount of loyalty underneath her gruff exterior. Then you have a character like Wolfgang, who comes from the Fables, or Storybook, the 3 Little Pigs, and he's nothing like the big bad wolf that you would expect from this story. I'm not going to elaborate on that. I'm going to leave it at that, but he is actually your like defense piercing character. Usually there's moves and characters who can basically ignore defenses, and with his sound wave attacks, he can absolutely pierce defenses and is very, very useful in the party. The banter between Flynn and his arch nemesis Tinder is really, really funny and hilarious. And again, without giving too much away, you'll encounter other incredible allies, like perhaps somebody who is a villain in their storybook who's reformed now that they're a part of Ever After Inc. Incorporated that can help you with the magic and spells. I also found that the chapters themselves, in terms of what you were dealing with, was very unique. And another thing, the enemies can kind of stack on top of one another the same way the Shy Guy stacks in the Paper Mario, the original, could do so in the 4th chapter, Shy Guy's Toy Box, which honestly makes the game such a different type of minigame in combat where you gotta figure out maybe what's the best way to topple the stack. They also have shields. Shields will deflect attacks, and even if you try to kind of bypass them with Flynn's buckler throw, an enemy that's flying will basically lower itself once you throw it, forcing your attack to hit the shield. So you're gonna have to find a way to get around it, and that's all I'll say for the time being. Each partner brings unique field abilities that are essential for navigating the corporate labyrinth and uncovering its secrets, and obviously also for exploration. The puzzles in this game were surprisingly very, very well designed. I thought they would be really easy like most of these games, but there was a few times where I genuinely got stuck, and because this game is very new, there was no one to help me, so I had to figure it out, which I appreciated. Beyond the characters, we have the Trinket system. The Trinket system is akin to the badge system in Paper Mario or the medal system in Bug Fables. This is one of the places where I was a little disappointed. It does offer pretty good customization. Each badge you equip can alter the party stats, grant new abilities, or even change combat dynamics. You can create all sorts of builds, from like a tanky hero who absorbs damage to a glass cannon focused on critical hits, or a support role that boosts your partners or keeps MP coming in through and through no matter what's happening in the battle. So experimenting with different badge combinations is half the fun. I just didn't find it as deep as the badge system. I said badge system, my trinket system. I didn't find the trinket system as in depth as the medal system, where you can really be cracked out in Bug Fables or do some crazy stuff to make Mario or one of his partners really insanely powerful. Granted, this is just my first playthrough and maybe I just haven't experimented enough with this, but I did find the trinket system to be just a little bit basic, which is one of my only complaints or nitpicks about this game. Between missions or chapters, you get to explore Ever After Incorporated's headquarters, which serves as your hub. You can decorate the office that you have. They put you in a storage closet. Uncover company secrets and engage in hilarious office banter and office minigames and office quests with your fellow Fairy Tail employees. It's these little details that really bring the world to life. Now, for my second small criticism or critique or nitpick, whatever you want to call it, for a game that's basically drawing from so many different storybooks, fables, fairy tales, what have you, I thought there would be way more to explore. The game's pretty tight and focused, which I'm not mad at, but I definitely thought maybe I'd be exploring a lot more storybooks, and that just is not the case, which is okay, but that was something I can say disappointed me ever so slightly. I didn't encounter any bugs or glitches or hiccups or stuttering or anything of the moment. I know the game is still patching and updating stuff. I know some people have had some issues, but I've had none. Personally, I played this on my Steam Deck, so I just want to put it out there in case you're worried about maybe I should wait until they patch it a few times and then come through. No, it's fine. It's perfectly well made, and this game has definitely been in the oven long enough, though sometimes there's just certain things you can't account for, but I haven't had any hiccups of any sort, and I'm very high on this game. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Seriously. Escape from Ever After is more than just a game, it's an experience. It's got charm, it's got wit, it's got LOL, laugh out loud humor, it's got tactical depth, and it's absolutely packed with creative ideas from start to finish. If you're looking for a fresh, engaging, turn-based RPG that will constantly surprise you and delight you with its narrative twist and fantastic characters, do yourself a favor and pick up Escape from Ever After. It's a modern classic in the making as far as I'm concerned. I can't stress enough how much fun that I had. I pretty much didn't put it down after I picked it up. And I think what might help crystallize this point and make it hit a lot harder, though I want to make it extremely clear, I'm biased, I am being subjective and I'm not being impartial. I just played Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and I had just as much fun, if not more fun, playing this game, and you guys know how big of a game that is. And with the last 3 videos I've made, you see how much I loved it. And I'm telling you, having this game be the follow-up, I was a little worried and maybe a little nervous, and I don't know why. It was perfectly fine, and I had a great, fantastic time playing this game from start to finish. I'm going to play it again. I think I'm going to beat it on stream too, on hard mode. Oh, I just want to say some things real quickly, like a miscellaneous thing. There were some things that I noticed that you took from Paper Mario and remixed it and made it fly and made it work for your own game, which I think was really cool. I caught them all, so shout out to you guys. And also the music is really good. The UI is clean and non-clunky. I think one of the problems I had with Born of Bread is I actually found the menu navigation and the user interface to be a little annoying. I haven't played it since I've beaten it in 2023. I'm actually having an itch to go back and replay it to see how I feel, because I did like Born of Bread. But yeah, man, if you're a Paper Mario fan, you're not going to miss here. You're going to have a great time. I promise you. You will. Trust me. I'm just like y'all. So anyways, I'm yapping and rambling now. I did not script this. It's completely off the dome. I just pressed record like 2 hours after beating this game because I wanted to get this review out as early as I can. Enjoy, have fun, let me know what you thought about the game, and if you want me to come back and kind of talk about the characters and story in depth, I'll do that. I think the game is worthy of that. Stay tuned for some content coming soon.